You're watching ShotokuTech, Saturday Story Time, 14 November 2020 edition. Virgin Galactic is looking to fly its VSS Unity out of the Spaceport America, that's in New Mexico, in November. And so this is a manned space flight, and NASA's going to send along some experiments for the ride. They've been testing this VSS Unity spaceship. It's flown with manned crews before. This will be the first human test flight from Spaceport America. Virgin has already sold 600 tickets, 4 flights on this VSS Unity at $200,000 to $250,000 each, and an additional 900 people have kicked in $1,000 as deposits. So best wishes to you there, Virgin Galactic. NASA estimates there may be 300 million planets that could support life in the Milky Way. The planets are all rocky, similar size to Earth, and orbit in the Goldilocks zone, not too far or too close to the Sun. New research has also estimated the temperature of those stars, giving scientists a better idea of whether or not they could have liquid water. They were previously defining habitability based on the physical distance from the star. They didn't have the temperature of the star itself in mind. Not every star is alike, and neither is every planet. These are all based on observations from the Kepler Space Telescope. Scientists from around the world have worked on this study. European Space Agency's Gaia mission provided important data on star temperatures. Originally, we thought there were billions of planets that were habitable, so this 300 million is rather conservative. This is an interesting read. This is interesting information from Bennu. OSIRIS-REx has been studying Bennu for some time, but it was conducting these gravity observations where they would toss a rock in orbit around Bennu and then see if it would stay in orbit or if it would fall. So they were calculating the mass of Bennu, and it turns out after observing Bennu for 2 years that Bennu may be hollow. It may have a void in the middle that's up to the size of 2 football fields. And even worse, Bennu could be spinning itself to pieces. So if it's hollow or loosely compacted in the center, Bennu's spinning may be pushing material outward towards the surface. Some of the thinnest parts of the asteroid are at its bulging equator. It completes 1 rotation every 4 hours, and it's getting faster. The whole thing could fly apart in 1 million years or less. Hang on, Bennu. Do you ever think that scientists just do stuff because they can? Here, they've 3D printed a microscopic Enterprise from Star Trek, and they're using it to study how shape affects the motion and interactions of microswimmers. Microswimmers are small particles that can move on their own through chemical reactions, and the platinum coating on these Starship Enterprise microswimmers reacts to hydrogen peroxide solution they're placed in, and it propels them through the liquid. They want to understand biological microswimmers. This could aid in developing new drug delivery vehicles, and microbots could autonomously swim to deliver drugs to the desired location in the human body. That's boldly going where no man has gone before. Astrophysicists believe that Jupiter's icy moon Europa might actually glow in the dark. They've been studying the types of salts that are thought to linger on Europa's surface and discover the precise composition that it would be influenced by this radiation from Jupiter's intense magnetic field, and this might cause Europa to give off a visible greenish or bluish white light. Another interesting read, so check it out. So back in the October 3rd edition of ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime, I talked about a traveler who was sued by a Thailand resort for bad reviews. And this included up to 2 years in prison and a $6,000 fine. So TripAdvisor just added a warning label for this Seaview Resort and Spa in Thailand, warning you of the issue and not to leave negative reviews. They wanted to make sure that travelers knew about Seaview's extraordinary action against this gentleman named Wesley Barnes. He was reportedly freed after reaching a settlement with the Oceanside Resort. So moral of the story, don't leave bad reviews while you're traveling international until you get back home. So this city of Takakawa, Japan has had 157 bear attacks in 2019. So they've deployed these robotic monster wolves, and they're very creepy. But since they've been installed, no attacks have occurred. Bears have been moving closer and closer to populated areas due to deforestation and growing cities. And these bears are looking for acorns. That's part of their pre-hibernation diet. It's a high-calorie nut. Wolves and bears used to share this region, and the wolves were actually driven to extinction through hunting and resource competition. And in a sense, these robot wolves may be some sort of prediction of the possible future for the black bears as well. So hang in there, bears. Scientists have discovered evidence of this ancient lake bed deep beneath the ice sheet in Greenland. These scientists are looking at what they say are the sediments of huge ancient lake beds sealed more than a mile under the ice of northwest Greenland. And it's the first ever discovery of such subglacial feature anywhere in the world. And it formed at a time when the area was ice-free, but now completely frozen in. The lake bed may be hundreds of thousands or even millions of years old and contain unique fossil and chemical traces of past climates and life. So they're going to continue drilling here so that they can better understand what's locked in this lake bed. It was just a couple of weeks ago in the October 31st edition of ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime where we discussed murder hornet nest found and crews vacuum murder hornets. This week's story is they found close to 200 queen murder hornets in this tree where they destroyed the nest. This nest ultimately contained more than 500 giant hornet specimens at various stages of development. There were 76 queens which had potential to start a new colony over the next year, and 108 capped cells with pupae that are believed to be pupae of virgin queens, according to the press release. We got there just in the nick of time, said an entomologist who helped kill the murder hornets. Good thing. This study in the Astrophysical Journal says that the universe is getting hotter. It's increased by 10 times over the last 10 billion years and reached about 2 million Kelvin today. So this is based on a theory of how large-scale structure formed the universe. Now this large-scale structure refers to patterns of galaxies and galaxy clusters on scales just beyond individual galaxies. And it's formed by the gravitational collapse of dark matter and gas. So as the universe evolves, gravity pulls dark matter and gas in space together into galaxies and clusters of galaxies. And this drag is violent, and it releases gas that is shocked and heated up. So this has shown the scientists how to clock the progress of cosmic structure formation and check the temperature of the universe. Researchers believe they've observed the birth of a magnetar for the first time. What do you get when you combine two neutron stars by slamming them together? You get a magnetar. And these magnetars release a brief flash of gamma radiation followed by a longer-lasting glow across the electromagnetic spectrum. Researchers spotted an unusual infrared signal, the first ever recorded signature, and they believe it's from a newborn cosmic behemoth, a magnetar. A magnetar is a neutron star with an unusually strong magnetic field. And we've seen magnetars elsewhere in the universe, but we've never seen one being born. They suspect that they spotted this newborn magnetar because of an unusual pattern of flashing light. First, there was a short, ultra-bright burst of gamma radiation, and then there was this longer-lasting, glowing kilonova, a telltale sign of neutron stars colliding. And the glow was much brighter than usual, suggesting a phenomenon the astronomers had never seen before. The glow left over from a neutron star collision has two parts. There's a short-lived afterglow which lasts for a couple days and results from material speeding away from the collision. And then there's the kilonova glow of stirred up particles swirling around the collision site. They know from their models and previous observations how bright a kilonova should look. This one's 10 times brighter than any of those. So we've decided it's a very large magnetar. All right, congratulations. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime. I invite you to click on the link down below in the description to check out the Blogspot article with the links to all of these stories. And I really want you to take a look at this blog because I've gone back through and added an article for every single video from the ShotokuTech Saturday Storytime episodes all the way back to December 21st. So this blog is fully searchable, so if you wanted to look up stories about the moon or Mars or exoplanets, then you could see all of the stories that I've covered on those topics. And I think it's going to become even more interesting as time goes on. So thank you and have a great week. Thank you for watching ShotokuTech. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share.